Today I'm going to share a recipe for cheese and herb muffins. These cheese and herb muffins make for a great option to serve as snacks when you have people over for lunch or dinner. I'd even shared the recipe earlier on my blog, and a lot of readers wrote in to me saying that they found it really easy to make this for their children's birthday parties. I'm not surprised. Kids love cheese, that's a great combination. We're going to start this recipe with making some buttermilk. Buttermilk is not always easy to find in stores, or sometimes you just run out of it at home. I have a little trick for you. You can get buttermilk ready in a matter of minutes. You start by pouring 1 tablespoon of lemon juice into a cup. Add 1 cup of milk. Just give it a stir so the two can mix together. And just let it rest now for 2 minutes. Now I'm going to get the dry ingredients ready. We need about 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just going to sift the 3 together into a large bowl and just set it aside now. You can see that the milk has curdled and is acidic. I'm just going to put that aside and get the wet ingredients ready now. 2 eggs. And add 1/2 cup of the buttermilk substitute. Whisk the eggs and the buttermilk together till they're nice and fluffy. Add a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of honey. Mix it together to combine. My oven's getting preheated to 180 degrees Celsius, and I've used the time to shred up some cheddar cheese. Don't go for a low-fat version of cheddar cheese. That will really compromise the flavor. I've also got a very sharp tasting cheddar cheese here. And now I'm going to get the herbs ready as well. You can use a combination of dried and fresh herbs. Use whatever you have at hand. I've got a variety of herbs here. Some of them are dried herbs. Rule of thumb, if you're using dried herbs, use only 1/2 tablespoon. If it's fresh herbs like the dill and basil that I've got here, chop them up to get about 1 tablespoon worth. I'm going to chop up the basil. So my basil's all chopped up. Now I'm going to chop up some dill. Dill is such a fragrant herb. Now that's all chopped up. I'm just going to quickly add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Just 1 quick pouring and just fold it together. I'm just folding these 2 ingredients together, the wet and the dry, and now I'm going to fold in the cheese and the herbs. Just added the cheese. Now I'm going to add the herbs. 1/2 tablespoon of dried thyme, or thyme as Simon and Garfunkel tell us. Again, because these are all dried herbs, so 1/2 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1/2 tablespoon of parsley, and I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of dried chives just to give it that slight oniony flavor. Onion and cheese is always a great combination. A little bit of marjoram and a tablespoon of the fresh dill and basil that I had chopped up. Again, very gently, I'm just going to fold it together just to make sure that it all gets mixed in. While you're folding it all in, you just want to make sure that it's all evenly distributed. You don't get a particular muffin that's more heavily dill flavored than the other. There's just no heavy beating required here. You just need to gently fold it all together. If you use any kind of a heavy blender here, you're just going to break up the cheese completely, and you don't want that. There are no lumps and no bits of flour. It's just one uniform mixture. Just give it a taste. Ready to spoon that batter into the muffin pans. Just fill it about 3/4 of the way. When I was a kid, my mum would drop a little bit of the batter accidentally, and I'd wait for that to just lick it all up. Just get it into all of these paper liners. You don't need to grease them. There'll be plenty of time to smooth out the tops. Right now I'm just making sure that I get them into each one of the liners. I'm just making sure that the batter is evenly distributed. I don't want to be picking favorites with muffins. And just try to smooth out the tops as much as you can. Now this is going to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes or until you can put a toothpick in the center muffin and it comes out absolutely clean. Off this goes into the oven. The muffins are done baking now, but you have to let them cool completely before you can pull them out of these paper cases. I'm just putting them onto a wire rack so that they can cool faster, and the faster they cool, the faster I get to eat them. And now for my favorite part of baking these muffins, eating them. Yummy!